Hey everyone, we're here today to look at two toppers. One's for Batman 66 and the other is for Iron Maiden. These are both Stern toppers, and the one we're looking at now is for Batman 66, and this is the one, not of course the one with Batman and Robin inside the Batmobile, but this is the other one that they were selling. So basically this is that other model, and it has all the characters here, and it's all like on a heavy plexiglass. And again, the characters with the Batcopter here, pretty heavy metal base on the bottom to bolt it down to the top of the head of the pinball machine. You have your cityscape back here that has on the back like a glittery type of background, that kind of shines through the topper as the light. I guess there's like LED lights in here that shine up, and I guess this signal lights up possibly, and I guess the backscape lights up as well. But it's pretty detailed. It's very heavy with this metal base on it. It's this is pretty standard plexiglass or whatever, but the base is very heavy, and it really locks down to the top of the cabinet of the head of the pinball machine. So let's take a look at detail. Pretty close, and then we're going to show the installation of it and see how it looks on the pinball machine once it's lit up. So stay tuned. Okay, so I turned the light off because it was too much light directly onto the topper, so hopefully there's enough light while I'm doing this. Let's just scan in a little bit on the different characters. You have Bookworm, Mad Hatter, Egghead, Joker, Catwoman, and you get your cityscape back there with the bat signal. And over here you got Penguin, Riddler, King Tut, Mr. Freeze, and Shane. So that's that. And you have the Batcopter there. And that glitter kind of shines through the back if you kind of look at it. So that's kind of the topper in detail. It's kind of like the artwork that's on the pinball playfield that they kind of just put on the back of this topper. So let's go look at the top of the head of the pinball machine and see where this screws into, and then we're going to put it on the top of the pinball machine and then plug it into the pinball machine and see how it lights up. Stay tuned. Okay, so now we're looking at the top of the pinball machine, the head of it. And there's like 6 screws, I think, on each side, or 7. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 8. So the only ones that come out are the corner ones, 1, 2, and the 2 on the other side of the corner. But basically the topper, I guess, comes onto the top of the head over here, and then just screws in with those holes that are right there in the corners. So let's get the topper, let's put it down on top of the pinball machine, screw it down, and see how it looks after we do that. Stay tuned. Okay, so now the topper is installed, and again, the 4 corners is where I screwed everything in. There's a plug that drops, you won't see it here, but there's a hole in the back where the wire goes down for the topper. It goes into the head of the pinball machine. So this is it lit up. Just a kind of close-up view of everything. I don't know if it's interactive at all, if it does anything with the game. I'm not really sure. But it's got a bunch of LEDs in the front here that light everything up, on the base of it. So let's see how it was wired up in the back box and where it plugs into, and see how the wire runs in the back of the plex or the translite. Stay tuned. Okay, so now we're in the back box and the topper is installed and everything is put together. This is the wire that drops down from the hole that's on the top of the back box, and it runs all the way down here. And I believe this is like J6 or something, CN6, something like that. But it goes, the power comes like right here where my finger is. That's where everything gets powered up for mods and stuff like that. So that's where the plug goes in from the topper, and that's where it plugs in to get its power. So yeah, I think it's CN6, I believe. I can't see because I don't have my glasses on, but I believe that's what Stern uses for down here, CN. So So that's it. You got to put in these wire clips and stuff like that too. I'm going to do that once I'm done filming. I'll put the wire in there, put the I keep saying plexiglass, the translate back on, and put everything back together. So stay tuned. So here's what the topper looks like with the game turned on and everything, you know, illuminated, stuff like that, power on the machine. Yeah, it looks good. You know, it's a fairly heavy topper, which is great. It really screws down tight, so it's not going to fall off, anything like that. So that's pretty much it. Like, you know, as the game is, you know, powered on and everything is put together. So stay tuned now for the Iron Maiden topper, the one also from Stern. Stay tuned. Okay, so here we are looking at the Iron Maiden topper from Stern, and basically it's an airplane with Eddie in the cockpit, and it kind of mimics, I guess, for the LE especially, this is pretty related to the theme of that game, but I would say for the Premium, I don't know how, or the Pro, I don't know how related it is so much to those games, but it is pretty cool. I mean, this is pretty much like a plastic, the wings. And there's like LED lights, I believe, on the sides that light up. And I think the cockpit lights up with different modes that go on too. Maybe the back here too does. I'm not sure if there's lighting back there or not. It's sealed up, so I really can't see. But it looks pretty cool actually. The space on these toppers are pretty heavy. They tighten down on the back of the head, so they don't really lift off or fall or come tumbling down onto your glass or anything like that. They're pretty stable, and there's 4 screws in the corners that hold this thing down. So basically on the top of the head of the game, just take out the 4 corners, put this down, screw it in, you're good to go. So it's the same setup as Batman. I'm not going to go on top of the head and do it again because it's the same exact thing. The 4 screws in the corners, and then the wire goes through the hole in the back, and then it connects to one of the jumpers that's inside the head. We'll look at that though, of where this actually connects to in the pinball machine, because it's different than Batman. So let's take a look at detail at the topper, more detail, like close up, and then we'll go and install it onto the game. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit on the detail of the topper here. So there's Eddie, you know, into the cockpit of the game, and it's got some plexiglass over the cockpit window over there. So, you know, like you can see, it's got pretty cool artwork in the back. It looks like somewhat of the back glass on the LE with the flying eddies and stuff like that going on. And if you look down here, here's the wing with the LED light. You know, it's all pretty much plastic, the whole wing thing and all that. So, yeah, it looks pretty cool. I mean, the idea and the design is cool, you know, especially again for the LE. So let's go and install it, see how it looks on top of the game, and maybe we'll record some gameplay too of this when it lights up or the different modes of what it does. Stay tuned. Okay, so now the topper's installed, and basically the wires run from that hole up there, and there's 2 wires that come in. There's a patch cable, like an RJ45 network cable, and also a power cable that comes down from there. So the 2 cables run down here. The patch cable goes either in one of these ports here. Mine went in the middle. And then if you run the other cable down, it goes down to this bottom connector right here in the back box. These cables are in the way, but at the very bottom, this one right here. So, I don't know, it's CN, I don't even know what number that is, but it's the one that's open. It's the one that's CN5. Here's like the power cable or something, and then it's under that one right there. So that's that. So that's how you install it. It's that one right there. So that's how you install it. It's 2 cables. So let's turn on the game, check out the topper, and see how everything works. and we'll record some gameplay just to see how the topper interacts with the pinball machine. Stay tuned. Okay, here's the topper just in non-gameplay mode while the pinball machine is kind of just turned on, no gameplay going on, but that's the way the topper lights up. And it also has to update when you install the topper. It has to update the node boards as well. So once the topper is in, then you hit the start button, the node boards update, and then the game finally turns on. So far it looks pretty cool. Again, let's play some gameplay and just see how the topper interacts with the pinball machine.